Hi guys, welcome to Facehammer. It's me, Russ the Facefield, and I'm going to be talking about the Ravening Hordes book, going through all the forces of evil, and looking at what's in this book, giving you an overview of the factions, what's changed, little bits of tidbits. It's not a deep dive. They'll be coming later. This is just an overview video, but it should give you a lot of information about the factions anyway. I hope you enjoy it. So strap yourself in, get ready some hammer to your face, and let's get into the video. So I'm going to talk about the Ravening Hordes book, which is the new kind of art collection of army books, I guess is the best way to describe it, that's going on pre-order. This has got all the bad guys in it. So the way the book works is it's basically got the grand army list for the factions. So we've got Orcs and Goblins, Warriors, Beastmen and Tomb Kings in here. So this has got all the rules you need. If you want to play Tomb Kings, you definitely need this. You can't just get the Arcane Journal, you need this book. So, I mean, the end covers with these lovely maps is great. I haven't really spent a lot of time looking at the map and rereading the lore, but it's just beautiful to see a new rendition of the map. I used to have the old world map from a White Dwarf that was up on the wall, but it was the entire world with a zoom in on the Border Prince Empire area. So this is the book. So we've got how the book works. So it talks about grand army lists and magic items, special rules. So let's go into it. I'm not going to go through all the rules in depth. I'm just going to go through and say, well, you know, you've got some background information at the front, very sort of little overview, and every faction's got a little bit of a flavor text, I guess. It's only like 1 or 2 pages. So then you've got your grand army list. So these are all work the same. So it tells you like your restrictions. So for Orcs and Goblins, for example, you can have 0 to 1 Black Orc War Boss, Orc War Boss, or Weird Knob per 1,000. And then you've got, you know, Black Orc bosses and things like that. And at least 25% of your army must be spent on core. But then you can have like 0 to 1 Night Goblin mobs per Night Goblin Chief. So you've got to have like Night Goblin heroes to unlock the Night Goblin units. 50% special, you know, 24% rare. These are kind of your standard points brackets percentages. 20% on mercenaries, 25 on allies. So it's about the battle standard there. And that's pretty much the same percentages. The only difference is you might have like 0 to 1s or 1+s in here. And then obviously the Army of Infamy that we've seen for like Bretts and that change those percentages. And then we've got, you know, your Black Orc heroes, your Orc bosses. It'll have all their options in here and what special rules they are. Now, what you'll notice here, it says Quell Impetuosity and War. So basically, the Orcs have got Impetuous, which is on a 4+ you have to charge, basically. And the characters quell that. And the War is your hero can call that when your unit in his unit and they get a benefit. So basically Amnosity's gone. So if you remember back in the old days, you'd roll a d6 and on a 1 your unit was going to misbehave, and then you might charge your own units and things like that, and there was a load of quirky rules. This is just, there's just a chance you're going to charge basically, which is quite nice. With Orcs, and again you'll notice in here like Orc Boss, it says about purchasing the Frenzy rule and stuff like that. That's because your Savage Orcs and your normal Orcs are all kind of rolled into one type of Orc profile. You'll see as well like Orc Shamans, it says you get the War Magic, Elementalism, Battle Magic, the laws you can pick from, but also what's quite cool here is you get this, they get a special rule, which is Law of Gork, and Goblin Shamans, I believe, get Mork. And that allows you to swap your signature spell. So say you took Elementalism, rather than swap into the Elementalism signature, you can swap to a spell from the Law of Gork, and there's 3 of them in the book, or maybe it's 2 each, I can't remember. Most of the factions got 3. Yeah, so then all the character profiles kind of work the same way. The stat line's basically what it used to do. They're very similar to what they used to be. It's not like they're going to suddenly make elves toughness 4 or anything like that, you know. And obviously, Night Goblins have still got the hatred of dwarfs, the fear of elves, that kind of thing, you know. And, you know, Goblin Shamans have got the special rule, Law of Mork. And then you get the Warband rule. I have to check what that is. I don't know off the top of my head. Then you've got your mounts, similar sort of layout, heroes first, mounts. Then you've got your units, orc mobs, goblin mobs, nasty skulkers, snotlings, night goblin, fanatics. They've got like, then most armies have got universal special rules. Like fanatics have got their own set of rules. Work pretty much how they used to. They're very similar anyway. You know, they've got some nuances, but then you've got your squig herd. I'm not sure if hoppers are in there anymore, which is a shame. I used to love hoppers. And then trolls, orc boys, goblin spiders, goblin wolf boys, orc boar chariots. Oh, hopper mob, it isn't that good. I remember when they were individual and they were attached to units, and they would hop around independently. It was kind of mad. Wyverns, arachnarok spiders, mangler squigs, giants. So you've got all your kind of bolt throwers, rock lobbers, orc bullies, doom divers. So all the stuff you expect to see in an orc and goblin list. Then you've got your magic items. So in here you've got your orc magic items, and they still have extremely common ones in the list. So like troll hide trousers, magic armor. You know, there's some real classics in here. You know, Porco's pig sticker and Choppier's chopper, Cholera's auger, Guff's windy banner. You know, banner of butchery, wild banner. All these kind of iconic items. So, and then they've got some more. You know, like your fungus wine. You know, and then you've got the special rules, so like Biggins, +1 strength, gain armor bane, and then you've got chopper rule, like, so when you charge, reroll wound rolls of 1, improve the armor piercing by 1. It does say it does only applies to non-magical, basically hand weapons. And you know, you've got some other special rules in here, so ignore panic. It kind of works out. It used to, you know, orcs don't panic from goblins, you know, that kind of stuff. You've got the charge for the boars. You've got the war. So the war is once per game during the command subphase, the character may attempt to invoke the power of the war. You take a leadership test on their own leadership. They pass it. Then their mount and any orc unit they've joined may re-roll hit rolls of a natural 1, and when calculating combat result, gain an extra +1. So that's what the war does. Yeah, you got 2 spells. So Brainburster, Gaze of Gork, or Mork's Curse and Itchy Nuisance, Law of Mork. So again, it says in here, wizard with Law of Mork special may discard one of their randomly generated spells as normal. When they do so, they select instead either the signature spell or chosen or magic, or one of these 2 spells, basically. So that's quite cool. I like that. Don't need to write a whole new law for Mork and Gork when you've already got a wild magic law, you know, and it does allow you to take elementalism or battle magic for your orcs. So then we've got the colour section, nice models. So classic kind of picture. These trolls, man, love them. Then the Warriors of Chaos. And the Warriors of Chaos, I played a lot in 8th. They're in one of my armies. Now, there's a couple of things in here. So you've got your Grand Army list. So you can only have 1 Chaos Lord or Demon Prince. That's because obviously they don't really suffer rivals. Special choices are up to 1 unit of chosen warriors or up to 1 unit of chosen knights. So you can have 1 of each, but you can't really have any more than that. And they've got, you know, some other units you can take. But there's a very restricted list here. Like you don't see Skull Crushers, for example, which is a bit annoying, as I've got 6 of them on squares, because you know, they were out during 8th edition, so not sure why they're not in here. It's a bit irritating, but anyway. So, you know, you've got your core, your Chaos Warriors, Chaos Marauders, Forsaken, Chaos Knights, Marauder Horse, Chaos Warhounds. You've got normal stuff. Then you've got your rare choices. Hell Cannons in there, Gore Beast Chariots, Dragon Ogres, Chaos Giant, and your Mercs, allies. So again, the percentages are kind of the same, you know, 50%, 25%, 50%, 25%, 20, 25. And yeah, that's that really. I mean, one of the thing with the Chaos is you've still got your Chaos gifts, and you've still got Eye of the Gods. So you've got Champion of Chaos, and Chaos Armor's changed quite significantly. So let's take, for example, a Chaos Lord Exalted and Inspiring also the same profile. So they can all take gifts up to 50. A Lord can have 100 points of magic gear. Exalted Champion can have 75. That used to be, I think, in the 50 before. Inspiring Champion can take 50. So it says here, Chaos Armor 5+. That doesn't mean you've got a 5-up save. That's the ward save you get. Whereas if you look at, they've got the Chaos Lord has full plate, but Exalted Champion has heavy armor, and Inspiring Champion has heavy armor. So, and you said you can mount them, obviously take a shield, and the mounts, you can have a Barded Horse. And you've got your Marks of Chaos. So you can replace your marks. So you've got your Mark of Chaos, and they all cost the same. They're all in the back. And again, you've got the same restrictions about could only join a unit with the same mark. You can't have more than one mark. You know, all that kind of stuff. You can join undivided as well. But and you've got Demon Prince, and again, the Demon Prince has got some options, like you can make them a wizard, you can give them extra levels. You've got Chaos Armor 4 so you get a 4+ ward. Because Chaos Armor doesn't just give you full plate anymore. It depends on what hero you are or what unit you are. So like Chosen have got it, but they've only got a 6-up ward, but it's not as heavy armor. And then you can upgrade it to full plate if you pay more points. Sorcerers have got heavy armor, Chaos Armor 5-up. So they've all got ward saves basically. Instead of having a really good armor save, which maybe it's better. I don't know. We'll see. I was a little bit worried they might be a little bit squishy with the changes to armor being max and their reduction. And it's got like all your mount options you can take, the points costs, you know, the profiles. Chaos Warriors, you know, they're about the same points they used to be actually. I think they were 15 points before. So 13 points, then they could take, you know, they come with hand weapon and heavy armor, shields are a point, give them a weapon, additional hand weapon, great weapon, halberd, marks, they're points per model. And then you can upgrade champion stand musician. They've changed this. It's all the same. It used to be like musicians were half the price of the others. Magic standard, champion can have magic items. That's new. A lot of the units you can do that now. You've got the source of weapon marker, Chaos Undivided. So you know, Chaos Warriors. Then you've got Chosen Chaos Warriors. If you look at the stat line, really there isn't much difference, except when you get to the attacks. So they get an extra attack. So Chaos Warriors have got 1 attack. They always used to have 2 attacks. So it seems they've got +1 point in leadership, +1 attack. So Chosen are just roll more dice, basically. But the weapon skills are the same, initiative's the same. You know, toughness the same, strength the same. Again, they've got almost the same options. The difference is that if you can give them the drilled special rule, they can have full plate armor. But but other than that, they kind of work exactly as they were. They do have the stubborn special rule as well, so makes them a little bit better. You got Chaos Marauders, again, you know, all the options in there. Forsaken have got what I like to call like the new amazing rule, which is open order, but they are loans, they are impetuous, and they got this mutation. I think Forsaken are pretty good, pretty hefty points track at 19 points, but I still think they're really good. Chaos Ogres, Chaos Trolls, you know, sort of things you'd expect to see. Spawn Knights. Now the Chaos Knights, again, they're only wearing heavy armor and they've got shields and they're mounted, you know, with barded horses. So standard armor save is 3+. So, you know, Chaos Knights always used to always have a 1-up save, so it kind of feels a bit squishy. No ward save as well for the normal Chaos Knights because they haven't got Chaos armor. However, if you take chosen Chaos Knights, then you can give them full plate armor for a 2-up save, and they've got a 6-up ward. So I think it's going to be worth upgrading them, to be honest. I don't see why you would not pay the additional kind of like 9 points to upgrade them and then the extra points for other stuff. You probably only have one big unit of cavalry in your army. You're better off getting chosen than you are normal knights. I used to fill my army out with like Marauder Horsemen instead, like for MSU type stuff, and I'd have a block of chosen knights, block of chosen on foot. So yeah, you got Chaos Warhounds, Chariots, and Chariots are not core anymore. That was one of the things you used to be able to do. They've taken that away. So it seems like Warriors have been a little bit, I mean, I think Chaos, they were very strong, so maybe that's why they've been changed quite a bit. Then you've got your Gifts of Chaos, which is maybe a good sign that they obviously were aware of that. You know, so you've got your Gifts of Chaos, and you've got your magic items. There's some classics in here, like the Filth Mace, Crown Everlasting Conquest, Crimson Armor of Dargon, Banner of the Gods, the Doom Totem, Blasted Standard, Banner of Rage, Helm of Many Eyes, which literally is, I think it's been the same in like 3 or 4 editions of Warhammer. First and Stupid, Skull of Catan. I mean, some of these are just classic items. And you've got the special rules, so Chaos Armor I've mentioned. In Sword Weapons has extra armor piercing of 1 and magic. Then you've got, you know, your Gaze of the Gods chart, so you can roll on this chart. You don't have to do anything, it just says in the command sub phase a character may choose to roll, so you just roll on it. And you know, you get a random effect, and some of these are quite good, some of these are not so good. And then you've got your Marks of Chaos, so Mark of Undivided, to re-roll Fear, Panic and Terror. Mark of Khorne, have the Frenzy special rule. Mark of Nurgle, then they can re-roll any hit rolls of a natural 6 when they get hit, so you have to re-roll to hit them if you're a 6. Models assess +1 initiative during the first round of combat. It's pretty good. And also automatically pass panic. Marker's Inch is flaming, magic resistance, and a wizard that's joined the unit may apply +1 to cast. Then you've got the Law of Chaos. So you've got Wind of Chaos, Acquiescence, Fleshy Abundance, and Blue Fire. They all work like the Orcs and Goblins spells, where you can swap down to these if you want them. So like Blue Fire is an 18-inch magic missile and a 9, D6 +3, strength 4 hits with an AP of -2 and flaming attacks. So it's pretty decent magic missile, to be honest. You know, and then like Fleshy Abundance is the caster and unit they join get +1 to their toughness. That's pretty amazing on a 7. You know, like Nurgle Warriors, I'll make them toughness 5, please. You know, Acquiescence makes them strike last. It's only a range of 12 and it is a hex, so you have to do it in the command phase, but, you know, pretty cool. So that's the Warriors. We've got the sort of classic models in here. So the He-Man, Marauders, the Metal Chosen, the Knights and the Warriors. These are all the models that I've got in my army. You know, a bit classic, I know, the Demon Prince. I mean, you could use the new AOS models, I guess, and just rebase them, but I don't know. There's a bit of a charm to them, isn't there? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm probably just going to use my models that I've got. I don't want to paint a whole new army. I've got so many other stuff I can paint for Old World that, you know, rebasing my old collection is probably the way I'm going to go. And then we've got the Beastmen. We get into Beastmen. So much the same way. Starts off with the Bray Herd army list. So again, 0 to 1 Beast Lord, Great Bray at more than 1. 1+ Gore Herd. A Beast Lord is up per 1,000 points. So you can have, in 2,000, you have a Beast Lord and a Great Bray. You've got to have a Gore Herd. 25% on core, as usual. 0 to 1 Minotaurs, if you've got a Doomball General, can be taken as a core choice. Special. So you've got your Bestigor, Dragon Ogres, Jebuslov, Cygor. If Generals of Doomball can come into here as well, so it kind of shifts some of the monsters down the category. Dragon Ogre, Shaggoth, Jabuslov, Cygors, Gorgons, Chaos Giants, Chaos Trolls, Chaos Spawn, Sea Warriors, Chaos Armor. So you kind of the same profile. Allies, yeah, so similar thing. And again, these guys have got some extra special rules. So you've got the Brayhorn, which allows you to basically re-roll roll again for every unit with the ambush rule in reserve that didn't arrive. So it allows you to kind of use the ambush rule and then be a bit more reliable than other armies. It's only on a 4+. So, you know, that's good. And then you've got, you know, your Bray Staff, so you can basically use it defensive or offense. That's kind of a classic rule they had. They can take Demonology, Dark Magic, Elementalism. They've also got their own spells like the other factions and their own magic items. So, and you can take Centaur Chieftains. I think that's new. I don't think they had those before. So they got Drunken, Fast Cavalry, Gaze of the Gods, Mark Undivided. You can't give marks to your heroes, so there's no mark. You just have mutations, and they're all undivided. I think you know, there was a time when you could make like Corn Gore and Pus Gore and all the rest of it. You can give these veterans Stubborn. These are quite good rules to have for elite unit infantry. They're heavy infantry, so they need 4 in a rank, for example. Yeah, so Blood Rage on Bestigor as well. Close Order, Primal Fury. So again, with like Gore Herds, you've got these guys have got Open Order and Skirmish, so you can rank them up, but have that extra maneuverability, move through terrain, get that free pivot. It's really good. So it's when they charge, you get +1 to their strength. So they do have some extra special rules. I think there aren't any mixed units anymore. Ungore Herds. So again, 0 to 1 per 1,000 can have the ambush rule. I think with these guys, 0 to 1 can have the ambush rule. So you can't ambush loads of stuff, but there are a few things you can ambush. Got your Centaur, Dragon Ogres. So again, it's, you know, pretty cool that you've got these classic returning war scrolls. You've still got your Jabuslav, Cockatrice, Cygor, that kind of stuff. And then the Chaos Giant, which is lots of rules for the Giant, as you would expect, and the Gorgon. And then you've got your Chaos Mutations, so you've got your, you know, Gnarled Hide, Gouge Tusks, Slug Skin. So these, you know, these are you can only have these once. Per army, that is, so you can't have multiple of the same thing. And then you've got your Beastmen, Bray Herd magic items, so lots of classic ones in here. The Dark Heart and Totem of Rust, Pelt of the Dark Young, Skin of Man, things like that. And then you've got the Bray Herd special rules, so Blood Greed, Blood Rage. So you have to test if you get subject to Primal Fury. If you pass the test with a natural double, it becomes frenzied. and you can regain frenzy. Now, Primal Fury, I believe, is your... Here's when a unit's combat is chosen, take a leadership test. If you pass, it becomes Primal Fury, so you can reroll hit rolls of 1. So if you've got that and you've got Blood Rage, then you basically become frenzied. And then Blood Greed is, whilst frenzied, +2 to its attacks rather than +1. It rolls a single d6 when pursuit rather than 2d6. That's the Minotaur roll. So impact hits, got armor piercing for bull gores, it's got horns, that kind of thing. So pretty cool. There's drunken rules. And then foe render, armor piercing -2. So some guys have got that. Got Law of the Beast. You got Vartide, Devolve, Mantle of Gorok. So yeah, that's the Beastmen. Pretty cool. They feel very similar. I think they're pretty cool. It's nice to. It would be quite cool to have like an allied contingent in a Chaos army, because you can have like a hero in a unit or two, and it's like a little army. Because I do like the Beastmen model, especially like the Bestigor. I think they're really cool. I used to really like the old Ungor, the old metals. I've got a bunch of those still. But yeah, it's cool. And then, so you've got some colour section. And you get into Tomb Kings. Now, Tomb Kings, lots of changes with Tomb Kings. Obviously, had quite a lot of work done because they've kind of they're one of the first books. So I hope they're not going to, as time goes on, become, a little bit weak because other books kind of step up. It's a GW game after all. I have high hopes for balance and integrity of the rules for this game, because it just seems like there's so much passion and love been poured into this, and the people that are involved seem to know their stuff, because all the little loopholes, tricks and things from the old edition seem to be closed or changed. And yeah, so anyway, so obviously it's the same. You've got to have a Tomb King or Tomb Prince. You've got to have a High Priest or Mortuary Priest. 0 to 1 Tomb King or High Priest per 1,000 points. Then Royal Heralds and Necrotechs. So that's kind of your kind of, your stook that you've got to have for your characters. And then you've got to have one unit of skeletons and or skeleton archers. You take skeleton skirmishers, tomb squarms, skeleton horsemen, skeleton horse archers, skeleton chariots or core, 0 to 1 tomb guard or stalkers. So I think that's kind of to represent like either your mortuary cult or not, even though there is a mortuary cult list. Special tomb guard is Shabti, stalkers, carrion, necropolis knights, my favourite. 0 to 3 scorpions per 1,000, and that's probably because they're so good. 0 to 2 war sphinxes, they're pretty good as well, I think. Necloth Colossus, Necrosphinx, Screaming Skulls, the Casket of Souls. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So you've got the Tomb King, Tomb Prince. Now these guys have got like loads of special rules. So you've got My Will Be Done, Nikarian Undead, Regen, Indomitable, Curse of Necropolis, Dry as Dust, Flowerball. So lots of special rules. Now that's to kind of how undead work, because they are Nikarian Undead basically is like a collection of special rules. So it's probably better me talk about that first. I will be doing in-depth shows on these armies, and this isn't an in-depth video on this. I'm just going to talk about this. So fear, psychology, unbreakable, unstable. So don't take tests, it causes fear. You don't break tests, and every point you lose a fight by, you take damage. But Indomitable reduces that by the number, and you take the best number that you've got. So, like a Tomb King or Tomb Prince, it says number of wounds shown by, in brackets, X, and it's not cumulative. So basically, if you've got a Tomb King in a unit, you're going to take 2 less wounds. So you have to lose a combat by 3 to take 1 wound. The curse is like the old curse, but basically they got to take a leadership test. They take D3 strength, 2 hits for an AP of nothing. If they fail it doesn't really do much. It used to be like, I think it was D6 wounds with no arms, no save, but not quite as cool. Still a little bit of fun. they've kept the flavour, I guess. So my will be done. So this is interesting because in the command phase, you can take a leadership test, and then you can pick one of these effects, and it applies to the character, then mount any unit they've joined. So you can get plus D3 movement, plus 1 weapon skill, plus D3 initiative. It does say it's not cumulative, so you can't put like multiple heroes in and go plus D3, plus D3, plus D3 movement, and just have like movement 9 bonus. It doesn't work like that. This is pretty cool. So you get My Will Be Done was a really cool rule. I really like that. Then you've got the battle standard, and obviously battle standards don't work the same for these guys because you don't take break tests or leadership tests. So in here it's basically you can reroll leadership tests. For any units with the battle standard, reduce the wounds lost to unstable by D3. So that's like extra D3. It's not cumulative with Indomitable. There you go. So it doesn't. If you're affected by beef, use the highest. Also, he can protect your heroes. And that's the version it uses instead, basically. But Herald, the new model's really cool. I'll definitely be picking that up. Then you've got your Lich Priests. They've got the Arise rule, which allows them to basically heal models back. If they're not engaged, they can resurrect fallen warriors, take a leadership test. For any unit in the current undead rule within 12, recovers a number of lost wounds or models. You've got the From Beneath the Sands, that kind of replaces that it came from below rule. So before you'd have these little tokens, you put them on the table, they'd scatter artillery dice, they'd move around, then you could charge and stuff like that. That's all gone, and basically you just get replaced by this rule. They have ambush, so they work like normal ambushes. But what this does is it says here that if the priest is not engaged in combat, obviously you don't want your priest in combat. That's always a thing. Then you can basically take a leadership test, and then you can place the unit anywhere within 12, not within 6 of the enemy. They cannot charge, and they count as having moved for the purposes of shooting, but can act as normal. So I think you can move, because it doesn't say you can't move, it just says you count as moving for shooting. If it's failed, they just don't come on. They're delayed. So yeah, and then you've got to have a Hierophant, and your army does crumble. It works pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is you lose the regeneration rule on your army as well, because your whole army's got regen. So he's got like a 5-up regen. They do not like flaming attacks. Let's put it that way. So you got your mounts. So obviously you've got your Necrolith Bone Dragon, which is your new thing, and that gives you, I believe they put it at the back here. You can't have an unmounted one, but I believe it gives you like extra toughness and extra wounds. I say that, and as soon as you want to find something, it's like, oh, where is it? No. The Necrolith Colossus, Scorpion. Oh, there we go. So +1 toughness, +5 wounds. So that if you think like a Great Cannon does D3 +1, that's going to make you pretty much immune to being one shot. And with the ability to heal, you might be able to keep your priest alive just by putting him on a dragon rather than buying a unit for him to sit in. And obviously it can hit fight as well. I still don't know. And also there's a -1 to shoot at it, so it might be a really good way of protecting your Hierophant. I don't know yet. It's kind of a bit crazy that you're going to put a wizard on this dragon thing and then just not even fight with it. It does have a breath weapon, which can be quite good. So that's magical attacks, multiple wounds 2, strength 3, -2 AP. So you could literally just fly around and breathe on units, keep them out of harm's way, and then just do that charge when you need it in the flank or the rear once you've been positioning, they've been stuck on your units. So I do want to try that out. It might be really good. So I'm getting a bit bogged down with the Tomb Kings. It is my favourite faction, so I'm sorry. So you got your Tomb Guard, and again, you know, they can take some of the things. You can take magic items, and they can have Drilled, which allows you to do a redress ranks for free at the start of your go before you move. So that's just changing your, like, how deep and wide you are. Skelly Warriors, they can have the Phalanx rule, which is a Nakaran special rule. We can have a magic banner, up to 50 points rather than 25 as it used to be. I don't think the Master at Arms, you can have magic items. So the champion can have magic items. So you can put magic items on Skellies. Yeah, just regular infantry. They're quite cheap at 4 points. You can take thrusting spears, light armor. You've got skeleton archers. These guys are quite interesting because they've got open order. So that's quite useful for being able to pivot and shoot what you want. And obviously skeleton skirmishers. So you can take skirmishing skeletons with bows. They've got the arrows of Asp. This is basically just don't have modifiers for shooting, so they're going to hit on 5s. Chariot runners, that's that rule I was telling you about that was in the other video, which is really cool. Allows you to charge your chariots through your screen, which I think is perfect. Ushabti, still on 40mm bases, so I don't have to rebase mine. So some of the stuff's still on the same base, like the cavalry on the same base, chariots on the same base. So if you've got them, you don't need to rebase them, which is great news. Then, you know, you've got tomb swarms. We've seen the new models. They look amazing. They have got poisoned attacks, regen, dry as dust, you know, the current undead, and that it means they take, if they take flaming attacks, they lose their regen, basically. So I don't think you lose regen as standard against flaming. It's just that it depends on the type of regen you've got. Carrion have got fly 10. Because fly moves are, you know, standard. They're not, it's not like they've got different movement values. So you could have fly 8, you know, fly 5, whatever. Skeleton horsemen. So these are like your heavy light cavalry. They say heavy cavalry here. And they've got 0 to 1 unit per 1,000 points, can have counter charge. I think they've got hand weapon, shield. You can give them light armor. The mounts don't have. Your best save is going to be like 5 up, which is pretty rubbish. Yeah, so they've got the horde rules. So they're kind of like numerous. Swift Stride and Vanguard, so they do have like pre-game move. I think Vanguard is, and then you know you got your skeleton horse archers. They've got reserve moves, scout, skirmishers, Swift Stride. You can give them the chariot runner rule, and they are skirmishers. They are light cavalry. They don't have the fast cavalry rule. They used to be, but you know they've got pretty much everything else. Necropolis Knights. Again, same base size. Don't have to rebase these. These are really cool. I like these a lot. When I've got a lot of these, I think like 8, but I rebased them all onto rounds for Age of Sigmar. That was silly, wasn't it? But yeah, they're really cool. They do impact hits. They've got armored hide, which means that they've got a better armor save. So they're on a 4-up save with light armor, shield, and a mount. Still, everything they do have regen as well, so it's not like they're the Tomb King stuff's a bit squishy, but you've got healing. So Stalkers, they got their gaze attack, which is, you know, no saves allowed, strength 2, but you know they're going to hit on a 4 because they I don't, or maybe they do take modifiers because they don't have the arrows of Asp. Yeah, they would take modifiers, so maybe hitting with them is going to be quite hard. But you know, 18-inch range, strength 2, multiple attacks, magical attacks and multiple wounds D3, and you wound against their initiative, not their toughness, and no armor saves permitted. So could be pretty good. I don't know how good they're going to be, or if you'll see them much. And chariots, the main thing. So, you know, they've got the reserve moves. They can move in the shooting phase. Swift Stride, yeah, so pretty good. The Bone Dragon, the War Sphinx, again, like, you know, pretty chunky. It's got 5 wounds, toughness 6. It is on a bigger base, this one. It's got a 5 armor value, Tomb Guard crew. Can be taken as a mount, I believe. And then it's a chariot mount, so I guess you use the toughness and wounds of the beast, so it doesn't give you that much survivability. The Tomb Scorpion and this guy's great. Slightly weird base, 75 by 50, but basically it says that it's got heavy armor and it's got this. The main thing is can be an ambushing, 70 points. But it's already got magic resistance, it's indomitable, it's got regen, it's got stomp attacks, it's got swift stride and vanguard. So it's quite fast, but also it's got killing blow at -2 AP, killing blow and monster slayer. So it can kill in blow monsters, which is pretty good. Like, I mean, I think for the points it's great. You know, 4 attacks. The sting is you can swap 1 attack out for it, and it's got strike first, but I don't know if you do that much. You got the Colossus, which is the Bone Giant. Still got Unstoppable Assault. It's still on the 50 by 50, so that's on the same base it's always been on. Necro Sphinx, really cool. So obviously it's got fly 9. I don't know why 1 inch less than the Carrion, but it does. It, you know, it's got its cleaving blade, so it can basically make its attacks here, but then it can make an additional attack with the decapitating strike. You can give it the sting. Catapults, stone thrower. Again, it's on a 60 by 100, so slightly bigger base. And then it says that it's got flaming, magical, multiple wounds. It's got screaming skulls, and basically it says you have to take a panic test, basically, and then you can give it skulls to the foe. So any enemy that was within 2d6 of the central hole makes a -1 to their leadership. So it hits multiple units with that as well. That's pretty cool. And the Casket Souls, of course, doesn't move. And friendly Lich Priest can get +1 to cast whether they're in 12. Any friendly model that casts a bound spell may apply +1 to the casting roll. And then you've got, I think that's for magic items and things like that. I'm not sure. And then you've got the Unbound Spirits. So if you kill it, then basically it does damage around. But then you've got these two spells, which you've got. Oh, it doesn't apply to the Casket Souls, as I was thinking in my head. So it's a bound spell. There you go. So bound spell, power level 3, and you need a 7. So I guess your 2d6 had 3. And then it says you must take a leadership test. D3 strength 3 hits, AP -1. However, if it's failed the test, D6 +3, strength 6 attacks with multiple wounds 2, no armor or regen against these attacks. Magic missile, 36-inch range, or you light your protection on self on an 8. And it says this model and friendly unit, and any friendly unit of an 18 gains a 6-up ward. In addition, enemy units -1 to any rolls to hit. So you can't have both of them, but light your protection is really good because you basically get to have this bonus, and it's a 6-up ward in addition to your regen, in addition to your armor save, so it's going to make your units very, very tanky. It's quite nice if you know you're going to be attacked. You can cast that up, and then once you're kind of the game's going on, you can start light deafing units off. I really like the casket. I think it's so cool. The imagery of it is amazing. Got some magic items. You've got Destroyer of Eternities, Flayer's Skulls, you know, some real classic ones. The Icon of Rakaf I always used to love. It can do a free reform at any point, so that's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's a pretty amazing banner, to be honest, to get around being slow. Cloak of the Dunes is also classic. I'm trying to work out where Tomb Kings can't march. I'm pretty sure they can't march. Oh, there you go. The car and undead. Undead models cannot march unless they have fly. Special rules choose by move by flying. In addition, all undead models have the following. So yeah, it can't march. I did think that was a thing. Then you've got your free spells that again it works the same. So you can swap your signature down. So you've got Desert Wind, Ajaf's Cursed Blades, and Desiccation. And then you've got the lovely, cool models that we all miss. So there's the casket. That's cool, isn't it? The Screaming Skull Catapult. Then you've got the new dragon. So that's the Ravening Hordes book in all its glory. You're going to need to get that. I will be doing follow-up shows on factions once I get a little bit more grounded with the game. I haven't had a lot of time to record. So hopefully I can give you a lot more coverage. I'm going to do some Tomb King in-depth guides and write some army lists, especially with the Arcane Journal. But yeah, that's the Ravening Hordes for the bad guys. So definitely pick that up if you want to play Old World. Even if you're not going to play this, I'd pick this up if you can. If you want to play Tomb Kings, you need this book. Don't just get the Arcane Journal. I said it before. Thank you very much for watching. I do have a cool thing. So I've got an affiliate with Pro Painted, and when you play Old World, you need these things called arcosites to check your angles. They were a thing back in the day. A lot of people had them. I've asked Matt to knock me up a Facehammer exclusive one, which you can click on the link in the description or click on the QR or scan the QR code I'll put up on the screen. And you get 10% off anything off Pro Painted website. And if you buy that, then that's really cool for me because I get a little bit of extra commission. So yeah, please go out and pick up your gaming aid for Old World. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.